Hello, over to the iRacing E Series, live here for race number 13 from Talladega Super Speedway in the Xfinity Series. My greatest apologies for the late start of the broadcast. I was trying to deal with a really important issue and made a huge mistake and accidentally missed the start of the race. So my greatest apologies to everybody who's watching, and of course everybody in the league itself. But luckily we didn't miss much, only on lap 6 here. But again, my greatest apologies. I really hope you can forgive me for that. But we are live here. For the event, race number 13, like I mentioned, Talladega in the Xfinity cars. So currently, like I mentioned, we are now, looks like, on lap 6. And your current race summary here so far, overall number is your race leader. I've only had one lead change, and this is the first caution that just occurred. So that is the race summary here so far from Talladega. Again, my greatest apologies for the late start of the broadcast. But we are lined up back double file here for the restart, the first one of the night. As Will number actually takes the outside lane to start on here. And looks like Ryan Worley will in fact now be starting on the inside. Because of that move by Will Runheimer. So, a couple teammates up here on the front row. Lead the way down the back straightaway at the pace car speed of 65 miles an hour. So far, Will Runheimer's had 4 laps. Ryan Worley's led 1. And it looks like the rest of the field here, that's on guys who've actually led a lap so far in this race. So, can't. Somebody else somewhere has led a lap. I'm not quite sure. Must have retired from the race or something along those lines, because I cannot see them in the thing. But iRacing.com official Ford Mustang base car makes its way down onto the pit lane. We are now getting ready to get set for the restart. So it goes slow. The 26 with some issues. May have not gotten the car refire right there. Maybe turning the car on and off or saving fuel and not get the car refire right there. That's going to stack up the inside lane and maybe mess up the inside lane for the restart, but they're back together now as the green flag waves right away here once again from Talladega. And of course the inside lane again with that issue now. The 37 going to get easily clear. He's going to drop down right in front of a 26 machine as they now work their way through turns 1 and 2 up into 4th gear here. Now the 50 machine as they're going to work his way up into 3rd. As Jason Pop continues to get stuck up on the outside without really any help. Now comes the 50 machine now actually try to challenge for the race lead here, or at least 2nd place. He makes a move to the outside as George Garcia in that number 50 machine, that discount tire Toyota Camry. Is going to fall back in line just behind the 26 machine in front of Park Garksta in the 413. But now the outside lane starting to form up here with the 01, 710, the 1 machine, and the 7 all being up here in this top lane. As these guys now come off of turn number 4. 50 trying to make a run to the outside, but he's not quite clear anymore. As the 1 now gets to his corner panel there and now up to his door as you come across that finish line and complete lap number 8. Number 1 machine now fighting on the outside lane. They're still side by side here. Top 2 are still single file, but of course teammates going to probably stay linked up together here for at least a little while, as we're still early on in this race, not even reached anywhere near the halfway or quarter point yet of this race, so no need to, you know, as well work here, teammates, keep yourself up in the front and in contention when it matters the most at the end. So I'm sure that's exactly what the 37-26 are doing here, as now the 1 almost got to the right corner panel to the 50 to try to get a side draft. We can't quite do it. There's only 3 cars up in the outside lane. Not many options for them. Not much draft they can really get here to try to pull up and challenge for the race lead here as we work our way now into the double digits on the laps. So the 01 actually now going to the outside wall. Maybe trying to drop back to the back of this pack. Not quite sure what that's all about, but the 710 doesn't have much choice if to follow him here. Is on the 1 machine, Jason Pap up there all by himself now, trying to side draft the 413 at Park Garksta, so he's going to lose a lot of time not having anybody behind him. It looks like the 01 machine is in fact falling to the back of the pack here, and so that now separates the entire outside lane, and what the small inside lane was is now non-existent. Basically, the signs this 1 machine is he's going to have to try to find a hole in the inside lane to jump into and fill the gap. So right now, the 7 machine going to work down low on the inside of the number 1 Monster Energy Chevrolet Camaro. As we complete lap number 10 here, Will Number continues to lead the way here. As that looks like I got a couple cars up the outside lane. You got Cody Trudeau-Cote, Eric Reinhardt, Issa Pap, and somebody else at the back of this pack here. That is the 42 machine of Nathan Hall. Apologies for not remembering that. As currently 42 Doritos Chevrolet right there. Got the 45 also up in this outside group here. That is Roy Giesen, one of the new drivers this week, I believe. Got quite a few new drivers floating in here, so happy to have them with us and be able to make these races more exciting. We're going to crash up ahead, though. Oh, the 1 machine goes around low. The 7-7 flips up and over a few of the cars. The 4 machine of Cody Trudeau-Cote is also involved. The 30 pilot in there, Bobby Hash. A lot of cars tore up here at Talladega. Not quite sure what started all that, but as we know, the 1 machine was pretty far up there, and so it was definitely towards the front of the pack, and of course, the result of that is going to be a lot of cars involved here. So I'm going to take a look and see what set off that crash, about the second caution flag of the night here. Not quite sure, again, what's going to happen there, but definitely not what we wanted to see. So now we're taking a look here, and oh my gosh. So this is where it all started right here. It looks like the outside lane got a run. And see, we're up here on the outside lane. He tries to go up and block that top lane. As you see, he does so. The 7 tries to find a way around him. The 37 continues to block him. And the 7 tries to go up the racetrack to go to the outside of the 37, except he's not clear as Jason Papp is on his outside. He goes up the track into the 1 machine, gets connected with the 1 machine, gets hooked, does not have any car control really at this point in time. Basically just along for the ride as the 1 actually comes down off of the wall after hitting it at a pretty bad angle and ends up getting into the 4 machine, who then slides down the racetrack and into the 30. 710 of Eric Reinhardt actually managed to, looks like, keep the car under control. Great save by him. But unfortunately, the same for some of these other guys is the 69 JC Fox piles in and into the inside wall. Pretty light touch to the inside wall, so nothing too severe, as we're going to ride actually on board with the 69 machine here, as this all took place just ahead of him. So here the contact, the crash. He slows down and tries to miss it, but the War Machine gets hit down into him, actually. And unfortunately for him, there's nowhere to go, and he gets hit. And again, light touch in the inside wall, but the contact with the War Machine was definitely a lot more severe. So that's where the damage mostly consists from. So we're going to try to see from the eye in the sky here, as far as the entirety of this accident real time here. And you see that it was this 37 blocked, and it wasn't really a super late block. He actually went up pretty early and made a decent block. Obviously, it's pretty early on the race, and this can't be the result of it, but that wasn't actually really the issue. It was kind of just the 37 to go block. It caused the outside lane to check up. You know, it wasn't exactly... It's not like it didn't help contribute to it, but I would say it wasn't a terrible block. And then it's just unfortunately the 7, you know, they checked up. The 1 went high to try to avoid the contact and you know, try to avoid the you know, the incident there with the 7 machine. He didn't want to rear end the 7 machine, turn him around. And unfortunately, the 7 just didn't notice the 1 had gone to his outside and came across his nose. And when you don't realize the car is on your, you know, on your left or right side, that's towards the front of the pack, it's definitely the result of said thing. And fortunate that took place there. But luckily, again, these guys have 2 fast repairs each and every week, so they can come in and use their fast repairs, get back out on the track, and have a chance at it. So that is the second caution flag of the night, as the 37 machines actually received an EOL penalty from league officials. So they deemed him at the fault for that crash and gave him an EOL penalty. So he's went from the front to the back here somewhere. There he is, over right there. So pace car is gone for some reason, but it's back. Leading the way here at Talladega. We're going to take you on a quick commercial break, but we're right back after these short messages.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Like live here to the iRacing East Series, brought to you by Express Auto Salon along with DCH Crane, and also brought to you tonight by Bottled Up and Taz Racing Customs. We're back live here in Talladega Super Speedway. The green flag is waving. We're backing away here after 15 laps completed here. Ryan Worley now has the race lead and control of the restart here as he gets a decent restart. The 42 machine pushing that 50 up on the outside lane is going to give them a huge advantage compared to this inside lane, as George Garcia now going to try to inch his way up ahead of the 26 machine, but the 42 backs off a little bit, and that's going to cost some time to the 50 machine. So now Park Darksta right there behind the 26 machine of Ryan Worley, and it looks like he has the advantage now back down the straightaway, down the back straightaway here. As to continue on, we're going to turn number 3. The rest of the pack is catching back up here. The 44 machine, Jeff Spooner on the inside lane right there. The 777, that is the driver of Timothy Pat. They pushed there by the 01 machine of Taz Kessler. There's his contact, and around goes this 01 machine. Will he save it? Yes, he does. What a great save by both of those drivers. And we are going to take a look back at that there, as that was an extremely close call to having another accident right there before we even completed a lap. But both those drivers are doing a great job to, keep control and not spin out and go back into traffic there. So we're going to take a look here. The one machine tries to go down low on 777. 777 tries to come down the racetrack. Maybe didn't know he was there, or just thought that the whole machine would be further down the track, etc. Typical close race in Talladega and contact, and then 777 actually manages to get it straightened out by basically using the 01 machine after he got turned down the track because of the contact. The 01 machine goes through the grass, and great job. I mean, I thought for sure right here he was going to accidentally slide up the racetrack into traffic, and it would be a huge wreck, but great job and drive by the 01 machine to keep that down in the grass and out of harm's way. He also missed pit road, so didn't have to worry about getting the black flag or anything. The only unfortunate part is that he obviously lost the draft, but if there was a caution to come out shortly, obviously he would get that back. But that is definitely a great job by both those guys, and especially the 01 machine, who was able to keep it in the grass and out of harm's way right there. So we got 4 wide, and that will be another wreck. That was 5 wide, actually, and that will be a wreck, and another big one here as 50 machine, George Garcia, heavy damage there. The 45 machine going around, the 710 there of Eric Reinhardt facing backwards, and the grass is 10 absolutely destroyed there. And unfortunately, we missed missed that one accident, but unfortunately we just had another one right there. But we're gonna find out and see exactly what happened there, as it was battling for the race lead. These guys have been really aggressive early on here, a little bit more than you might actually expect, but that was just 4 wide at Talladega for the lead. Pretty much gone wrong here. So you had the 45 machine up the racetrack here. I'm not quite sure. Is he 37? Well, I don't know, actually drove through the field somehow, but I'm not quite sure if he thought if he didn't know that there was 2 cars on its outside, and we just thought that was 1 or what. But he kind of just drove up the racetrack and pushed the 50 into the wall, then the 413 up into the wall and into the 50, and that's what really started off the whole wreck here, as you see. That's actually what started the wreck, and then the 37 machine actually manages to make it through the middle and actually gains the race lead out of it. So literally got EUL the last caution, drove all the way through the field, and just got the lead once again here, and managed to miss the wreck in the process. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there with him, as he gets hit a couple of times. Nathan Hall piles in there, a 10 machine I believe it was. I'm not quite sure, again, if he thought it was if he didn't know that he was like 4 wide almost. We're going to take a look here at the chopper camera and actually take a look at it. And wow. Yeah, so they're already 2 wide. He barely shoves his nose in there. Very aggressive move. It was obviously not dirty, not a stupid move. It was just aggressive. Makes his way through the middle, but it kind of just drives up into the 413 machine. They save it. They're all good to go. They're 4 wide. You see the 26 machine goes down the apron. He knows that there's going to be a wreck, and he just drives straight up the track. I'm not quite sure what exactly why he did that. Again, I mean, it was just very, very odd the way that looked. Not sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're going to take a look at it here once again. You can just see he goes up the track right here, makes contact with the 413 Pargarsa, and into the 50 machine, and that's what, you know, started the whole accident right here. So makes a little bit of contact right there, and then they're 4 wide, and yeah, he just drove up the track. Again, I'm not sure if he didn't know that 50 was up there, because when he made that 4 wide move, it was in the second row, and maybe he was just trying to push the 413 at the racetrack, or just accidentally swerved the right a little bit there. Then as soon as he made the contact with Pargarsta, there was really just no going back on it. You know, he's already getting hooked, and the 413 drives the racetrack, but the 50's there, and then the wall is there for the 50. So there's really nothing anybody could do after they made the start of the contact there. But I'm not quite sure again why that initiated, why he turned up the racetrack that happened. Unfortunately, oh man, a 66 T-bones the 42 machine right there as he's sliding down the racetrack. And you see right here, the 33 gets a piece of the 10, and the 7 and 10 killed right there. The 7 and 10 really, and excuse me, the 10 machine really piled in right there with really nowhere to go. So unfortunate events there that took place. I mean, yeah, that was very, very odd. I've not really seen a crash like that in a long time here. As we'll take a look now on board with the 7 and 10 machine. As this all took place right in front of me. Unfortunately for him, he got a piece of it. As you see the crash that happened, he's off the throttle, gets to the back of the 33 machine, and then, oh man, just slams into the 45, and then hits the inside wall really hard as well, and it actually blows up his motor. As you see the 42 machine actually tow right there, it looks like. We're going to take a look from the onboard of the 42 machine as well. Nathan Hall getting heavy pieces of it and have a pretty good angle of it as well right here. He's pushed the 50 machine, then it looks like he actually accidentally hit the wall as they were 4 wide, and that slowed him down, but that didn't matter anyway because they were wrecked right in front of him. He had absolutely nowhere to go, and then, of course, spinning down the racetrack in front of traffic. You're almost always bound to get hit by, you know, passerbys trying to make it through the accident, and unfortunately for him, he was hit multiple times, and we'll definitely have to use a fast spare, if not even have to tow. But it looks like they're all back out on the racetrack here, and ready actually to get set to go back green flag here. He's letting out double foul for the restart. So Will Rodham are actually leading the field here once again. It looks like the 26th machine, Ryan Worley, actually decided to head down pit road out of second place. So he's back in the pack now after that pit stop. Maybe just make sure he didn't have any damage, or just top off and fuel and maybe change tires and whatnot. But that puts 37 machine, who was already actually in the race lead anyway. But that leaves him pretty much without a teammate now towards the front. So he just had to work by himself there. Dakota Chudelcoat up here. I actually got involved in that accident previous to that one. It's two crashes ago. But he used his fast spare, got back up here. Now he's running up in second place. So nice rebound by the 4 machine of Cody Chudelcoat. These guys continue to pace through turns number 3 and 4. Piska now works his way down onto pit lane, but still have to wait through the trial fold to get to the restart zone. Through the trial here at Talladega, 37 machine. They filled back to the green flag. Green flag is now waving. We're backing away here from Talladega. 37 machine, the 4 take off, and the rest of the field pretty much pretty solid gap between that first row and the second, and then even between the second and the third rows. Now it looks like the 7 machine actually going to pull in line now behind that 44 machine, Jeff Spooner. So now that leaves the 4 machine, Cody Chudelcoat, by himself. As he's actually going to get freight trained here. Maybe not at 7 Machine. I was looking at it, but he will not do it. However, it looks like we got another taker. A couple takers actually up on the outside lane. He's going to try to push him here to 76 Machine. Jeffrey McConey along with the 50 of George Garcia, who's actually involved in that crash. So he's back up here at the front already here in less than a lap. It's the former Machine, Cody Jordan actually gonna get pushed ahead here and up into the race lead now. So Cody Jordan, as actually you see some guys, the 10 Machine did in fact have to tow, and unfortunately for him, he's going to lose him a lot of time and maybe cost him a lap here. He's down to 76, actually managed to get clear and jump down to the low side in front of River Emmer. So now he's going to challenge the race lead on the inside lane with the 4 Machine not going to push by George Garcia in that 50 entry. So we're going to back straightaway here up to full son already now since the restart, as outside lane actually seems pretty formed up and pretty organized up here, so they should be going fairly well. There's some Machine aggressively pushing that 76 though, trying to get him up into the race lead here and trying to get himself up in the race lead if possible. As you see the 4 Machine lose the lead there for just a little bit after the stripe, but is now 76 led his first lap of the race. 37 is pushing him very aggressively. Got to be careful about that classic bumper hook that we see a lot in the Xfinity cars, especially, and even at the plate tracks all around in general. So pushing him aggressively, obviously gets you track position, but a lot of risk versus reward, scenario pieces to that. But so far, he's doing a good job of it, pushing the 76 Machine, and has not turned him as of right now. So that's all that really matters. Continue to tick off laps here. Now 24 laps completed next time by Marcus, which is 40 laps to go here from Talladega, which is still pretty long ways to go at a plate track at Talladega. Definitely winding off these laps pretty quick here on the green flag. The caution flags here take extremely long time because of the slow pace car speed of the 65 mile an hour pace car speed compared to Daytona's of 80, and also the track is slightly longer, about a tenth of a mile longer compared to Daytona. So both those factors really contribute to the fact that the pace laps and the caution as a whole is extremely long here at Talladega. So we're in a green that laps tick off really fast, but under caution, it takes about 2.5 minutes just to complete one lap. So, in a green though, you're about 48 seconds a lap. So now get the 40 laps to go. We're still trying to push Jeffrey McConey. He's got him to the race lead, but he can't get himself clear of the 4 Machine in the outside lane to try to make a move and make a run back at the race lead. So he's kind of just stuck in behind the 76 Machine and boxed in right now. As he's doing a fairly good job, though, pushing that 76 Machine. Trying to get him the race lead. 50, though, also pushing that 4 Machine quite nicely, as he kind of has a little bit of a swerve right there. But they get back under control. As now the 4 has actually a pretty good advantage over the 76. But the 76 is going to try to fight back up on the inside lane, as there's a big gap between the 37 and the 44. And I think that's what's kind of slowing that inside lane down just a bit, is that gap, as the 44 takes it very cautious, of course. Nothing too wrong with that. As the 4, though, as a result of that, will pick back up the race lead here and lead that lap. As George Garcia continues to push him in that discount tire to the Camry. As they come off of turn number 2 here. Down the back straightaway, the 4 edging out the 76 here by just a little bit. It's still a drag race, not back straightaway, and 44 gets a little bit closer to the back bumper of the 37. It's going to help that inside lane out quite a bit. Well, number 4, the 4 Machine, trying to get around the 76, but he can't quite get clear. Pretty much just a stalemate right now. As the cross start finish looks at the 76, will in fact also lead that lap, but 37 trying to push it for all he's worth to try to get himself up into the outside lane. I guarantee you is what he's wanting to do right now is to try to push the 76 far enough ahead so the 37 can get clear and move up in front of the 4 machine to try to take away the race lead. But unfortunately for him, it's just not the case. He can't quite push the 76 up far enough ahead to make that move. He's going to try for as much as he can, though, obviously. To come off of turn number 4 here. Back now in the short chute. The Spooner again getting pretty close now to the back bumper of the 37, which is going to help this inside lane out. As the cross start finish on, though, it will be Curtis Colt leading that lap. So the lead keeps switching out here from time to time. Down, actually, the outside lane got a huge run right there. The 4 machine actually gets clears. The question is, does he decide to drop down to the inside lane? It looks like that will be the answer to the question will be a no, as he sticks to the outside lane in front of George Garcia for now. The question is, will he move down in front of the 76 if he gets the opportunity again, or just wait and see how this all plays out. I guarantee you, if that 37 can push the 76 to the point that he gets clear, he's going to absolutely jump in front of the 4 machine and try to take a race lead. That's just my guess would be as they come off turn number 4 here. Looks like the final 1 machine of Brendan Wilson trying to make him 3 wide up there on the top side. A little bit of help up there with Jason Pappa and that number 1 Monster Energy Chevrolet Camaro. They're working together here just a bit. He's right on board now with the 1 machine. It's pretty sketchy being next to the outside wall because again you'll have. Oh, we got a car strip flying on the racetrack though. Looks like that is out for. A couple guys hit back here. There's number 7 machine for the 3rd straight time, I believe, involved in an accident here, unfortunately. And we're going to take a look back and see what exactly triggered this accident. It looks like indeed it was. Unfortunately, the classic overhook, 413 Park Darkster kind of checked up as the inside line was checking up, and unfortunately, the 30 machine to Bobby Hash accidentally got on the back of him. Then the 7, the 45 tried dodging the rack and accidentally made contact with each other. The 7 went ahead on the outside wall and spun around quite a few times. So let's take a look here, right on board now with the 7 machine of Brian Buzard. The guy tried to miss the right, but unfortunately got into the 45 machine and sent him into the outside wall. Then after he hit the outside wall, bounced off of it, came down and tagged the right rear of the 7 machine. And unfortunately for the 7, pretty heavy contact up there with the outside wall, and that sent him around. Again, just a good old classic bumper hook here at Talladega. And the 413 in Park Garksta actually spun it around multiple times. They got a great job to regain control and just do a couple spins and get it back pointing in the right direction, not pick up like any damage at all, I don't believe, besides the corn barrel damage from getting turned. So great job by the 413 in Park Garksta, everybody to miss him. But unfortunately, the 45 and the 7 did make contact. They definitely had a pretty serious incident and crash there, of course. So can't quite say the same for them as much as they're not making pit stops here. So Brian Broussard actually accidentally overshot his stall there as everybody onto pit lane. Looks like some guys are going to actually take the option of staying out. So puts now Jeffrey McConey in the race lead. Cody Triple once again in 2nd. We're going to see in 3rd. Kessler right there in 3rd. Brian Wilson 4th, and Jason Pop, in 4th, and then Brandon Wilson in 5th. But we're going to take you on another quick commercial break here from Talladega. We're right back for the restart. Welcome back to the iRacing East Series and its coverage brought to you by Chris Auto Salon, along with DCH Crane and Bottled Up, official partners of the iRacing East Series, along with Taz Racing Customs, all official partners of the iRacing East Series. We appreciate their support for the series. Keep things turning every night, every week, I should say. Quick reminder: Tuesday, of course, is Christmas. So, first and foremost, thank you all for watching tonight's event, and wish you a very Merry Christmas. As we will not be broadcasting the iRacing Series, the VASR Stock Car Championship, of course, for obvious reasons, as they have the off week for Christmas. So, hope you all have a lovely Christmas with your family and friends. As we won't have another broadcast, of course, until next week for this very same series, iRacing Series here. I believe is to be race number 14, Daytona Xfinity cars. I know it's at Daytona. I'm pretty sure it's the Xfinity cars. So definitely looking forward to that, of course. And then VSR comes back on Tuesday, the following that, which is January 1st, actually. So, excuse me, no. Yeah, January 1st. I believe. Actually, it might be the 8th. We may have 2 off weeks because of New Year's. But anyway, we're going to go out green flag here. In the iRacing Series, Talladega's green flag is back out. And actually, the 4 machine of Cody Schutel gets a great restart and actually jumps ahead of the 76 machine by a long shot. And I'm not sure if he jumped that or not. I do not believe so. It looks like he went on the green flag. But actually, he opted out of taking the inside lane in front of the 76, to my surprise. So that now puts him up on the outside lane in front of the 01 machine at Taz Kessler. I apologize for his paint scheme not loading in. I'm not quite sure why that is exactly a thing. It seems to be a glitch that's been happening recently on trading paints where it just shows the color paint on like part of the hood. So that's what his entire paint scheme should be pretty much be like, a color at least. And so my apologies for that not working. I'm not sure why that's not loading in. I know it's definitely, I did everything that I could possibly do to get that load in, and I saw that and trying to fix it. But again, my apologies. I'm not quite sure why it's exactly doing that. But as we already are past halfway now, so 4 machine actually looks like he may have gotten that at the line there. Curtis Schutel, yes, he did. So Curtis Schutel leading that lap there. But a little bit past halfway here with 30 laps to go now. As we've had 35 laps completed. Take a look at race summary here so far. 35 laps completed, like I mentioned, 30 laps to go or remain. And we've had 10 lead changes so far, 4 caution flags in total of 13 caution laps. As the 4 machine, Curtis Schutel seems to be a stickler up on the outside lane, does not want to drop down to the inside lane by any means. And he wants to stay up in front of the 01 machine, so he's going to continue to do that. As we now come through the travel here to complete another circuit here, that the 4 machine will actually lead once again. Is now the 01 going to push himself up in the second and may try to push himself clear of the 76 to make a move on him. Oh, the 76 is bumper hook by the 50 though, and that will cause the 76 to spin. And man, no, he gets hit. Oh man, cars crashing everywhere. The 10 machine involved once again. The 8 of Cruz Sanders Jr. Different McConaughey, of course, the one who got turned around there. To start part, Garsta piled in there. The 45 machine tore up for, I believe, the 3rd time straight here tonight. He has absolutely no front end left on that Ford Mustang, unfortunately. And that will probably end his night, I believe, as he's out of fast repairs. Unfortunate bumper hook there off the nose of the 50 machine. George Garcia, one of the new drivers also. Roy Giesing is the driver of the 45 machine, by the way. But yeah, it's an unfortunate bumper hook here. The Xfinity car is very classic for that. It's very, very easy to accidentally turn the guy in front of you as you're trying to push him, especially in the corner here, as that never really works out well. It looks like he just got a run on him here, and you know, maybe you didn't realize. And that's another thing, too, I've noticed, that you don't feel like you're really touching the guy. Like, the nose is longer than you expect it to be, and you don't feel like you're pushing the guy in front of you, but you really are. And what an amazing job by Brennan Wilson and Will Ronimer right there to swerve at the racetrack and miss the exit. It looks like the 37 actually put it in the wall and missed that. 26 Ryan Worley and Nathan Hall just squeaking by as well. Great job by both of those drivers. And it looks like the 76 didn't really get hit by anybody until, unfortunately, Park Garksta, Powers, and along with the 10 machine of Brian Buzard, or excuse me, not Brian Buzard, that is somebody else. But unfortunately for them, they are on a pile, and the 8 machine locks it down and gets slammed into by the 45 machine, who came in there without any brakes at all, I don't think. Unfortunately, the 8 machine are going to get collected pretty heavily. The 45 machine actually hits the inside wall, and that's what caused the majority his engine damage, at least, as we take a look here and right on board with the 45 machine here. See the crash start happening. He's not even out of the throttle. Now he is out of the throttle, tries to slow it down, and bam, right in the back of the 8 machine. And then hits the inside wall after making that contact and getting loose, and goes down in the grass. Tries to limp it back around to pit road. He's going to run on board now with Cruz and his junior. You see, he's out of the throttle. He slows down and hits the acid a little bit. Just the 10 actually kind of helped him by pushing it in right there, but then the 45 came out of nowhere and just spun him around super fast. Wow, that was a vicious hit right there. Kind of just plowed into him, did a 360 and like whip it fast. And unfortunately, it's going to tear up a lot of race cars here after the bumper hook off the nose of the 50 machine of George Garcia. They're taking a look at it here. Just the actually got his left front corner panel. That's all it took, and turned around. A great job already to miss him up until this point, where unfortunately they just don't have where to go. They're kind of, you know, right behind other guys. The 45 actually, besides hitting the 8 machine, shot right through the middle right there. Did a pretty good job to try to at least miss the accident as far as that point went. But unfortunately, the 76 machine, because of that hit, actually, it looks like his suspension and axle is broken and all messed up. Again, he was actually good right until he slid down the racetrack right here. And unfortunately, the 413 machine piled into him. And you can see that it just hit him right on his axle. And that's what broke his axle. And besides that, he was actually decently good. Like, he hit the outside wall a little bit, but nobody else hit him. And it's pretty amazing when you're in the race lead and you get turned around and nobody hits you. But unfortunately, it did not quite work out, as he just got clipped by other guys there. But Cody Trudeau couldn't find himself in the race lead here for the first time tonight, I believe, at least for the first time pacing under caution that he's in the race lead here. So I'm going to see if we can't get him into the broadcast booth here and get a word in with him. Like happened there, Cody?
Oh, hey there, Lucas.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good up myself here, watching the broadcast up here, and I'm sure you're definitely enjoying that race lead as you currently lead the field here into the caution flag. A little bit past halfway, so still quarter of the race left of racing here at Talladega, but definitely a good position for you to be in currently. Of course, up here in the race lead and out of the pack, which has seemed to be pretty rough tonight. A lot of crashes, a lot of bumper hooks, and big accidents have kind of taken place here. Let's talk about the race so far from your eyes and how the race has been out there.
The race so far has been a little rough. I've been lucky enough to stay out of any of the wrecks. I've been staying on the outside, so I'm able to stay quick enough, not get freight trained, pretty much.
Yeah, it seems like it was mostly a stalemate there. Of course, you had the race lead, but again, the option not to go down to the inside lane kind of helped you out because the inside lane wasn't quite organized well enough to, you know, pull ahead of you guys on the outside, and the guys on the outside definitely were faster, so it was definitely pretty fun to see you up there holding the outside lane there and taking that call and that move to keep you in the race lead and potentially even to not get involved in that accident as that happened right below you. But so far, what are your plans here to try to, from the racing so far, what do you think is going to, what's going to take here to try to get the victory?
Pretty much, as long as I can keep going without having to pit, without having to fuel or take any tires, I'm going to stay on the outside line. It's definitely the faster line overall. I lose a little bit of ground on the inside line, but throughout the exit of the corners, I always get my speed back. And as long as I have help, I'll be able to get pushed right to the victory.
Alrighty, well, sounds good here, Cody. Thank you for your time, and wish you best of luck.
Thanks, Lucas.
That was the driver of the number 44 machine, excuse me, not 40. Cody Shudo-Cote there, come across that finish line lead, actually his 10th lap of the race, so already up now into double digits. Doing a nice job up in that race lead as the pace car light should turn off this time. We should get the one to go signal here in just a few moments. As, there it is. Those guys are out. The former machine actually opting to, looks like, take the outside for the restart here. So Cody Shudo-Cote going to opt to take the outside lane in front of the 50 machine of George Garcia. Taz Kessler now will lead up on the inside of the lane there, getting pushed there by Jason Papp. So, should be a pretty interesting restart here as the former machine is the control car. And I'm pretty interested, of course, to see how the rest of this race works out. As, again, 17 caution laps have been done so far. We've only had 5 cautions. We've had 10 lead changes in total. Fast up the races at 49.087, excuse me. Continue to pace here around Talladega through number turns 3 and 4 here. It was a pretty decent long run there. At least before the last 2 crashes. So it's very interesting to see if we do get a long green flag run here. I haven't had one a little while in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully we can see that right here. And all will be well and get some fun, exciting, and entertaining racing. And I've had quite a bit of that tonight, but unfortunately it's not been at the expense of a couple of crashes and pace laps. So I definitely think these guys will put on a good show for the rest of the race and learn from the crashes that have happened so far and the mistakes. And get things pointed in the right direction here as Cody Shudo-Cote will lead the field back to the green flag. Green flag is waving, run away here from Talladega. Getting up to speed of Cody Shudo-Cote. Actually looks like he does get clear, but again, his decision was to stay up in the outside lane no matter what and not really drop down. Kind of just hold this outside lane and keep the race lead. That is his goal, and that's what he's currently doing right now. However, the outside lane, not quite as formed up as you'd probably like it to be now, as the 14 looks like a Jeffrey Price is in fact actually going to move up to the outside lane, so it's going to help him out quite a bit, as the outside lane is doing a decent job. 50 all-over bumper of the 4, and now the 1 all-over bumper of the 01, but George Garcia right over bumper of Cody Shudo-Cote. Got to be careful about that bumper hook. He just accidentally did that to the 76 machine, but he's really aggressively pushing that 4 machine. Got to be careful not to turn him around. However, currently he's still pushing that 4 machine, Cody Shudo-Cote, on the outside lane. It actually looks like come across that finish line, they might get the race lead away. It looks like it may have been the 4. Yes, it was. Not by much for sure, but the 4 machine did in fact lead that lap at time by. The 01 continuously trying here on the inside, but now Brandon Wilson, Jeffrey Price, and Ryan Worley, all those guys up in the outside lane. Got a car really slow down here on the apron, it looks like. quite sure who that was. That's Parker Garza actually hit a complete stop right there, so I'm not quite sure what exactly happened to him, but the outside lane looks like they got a little bit of a mishap right here, a little bit separated now, as it looks like they're actually going to fall all the way back to 4th place here. Now Eric Reinhardt going to make a move, and Jason Papp to the outside lane in front of the 4 machine. That's now going to force him to take a free wide, which it looks like he will do so. I was going to say either 4 wide or full line behind the 413, excuse me, the 710, but looks like now we'll actually fall back in line now. So Jason Papp takes over the race lead now, as Taz Kessler doesn't really get any help now on the inside lane. JC Fox trying to get a run up here in that 69 Ollies machine. He's going to try to use that as the outside lane very close together. Everybody pretty much on each other's rear bumper here. So hopefully nothing bad comes out of this. This is 69 now. JC Fox pushing that 0-1 of Taz Kessler, trying to get him back up into the race lead here. As George Garcia looked to make it free wide right there, but decided better of it. Backed out and back in line now behind the 4. So pretty crazy mess here at Talladega right now. As it looks like we may have a bit of 3 wide, maybe 4 wide action right here. The back of the pack. That's very close together here. And now it looks like the 76 does get clear. Jeffrey McConey gets clear of Will Ronomer and makes that back down to street wide now. As for the race lead, Jason Papp and Eric Reinhardt get clear of Taz Kessler. They're going to fall back in the line now. But Eric Reinhardt actually makes the move back to the outside lane here to try and get around Jason Papp. But now it looks like Cody Trudeau actually going to ditch him and goes to the outside of 3 wide. George Garcia follows. They're 4 wide now right behind him. And we might, so far so good. Jeffrey McConey right there in the middle trying to be kind of playing their line. And again, second time straight now down 4 wide. There's not been a crash result of it. Jeffrey Price, though, unfortunately hits the outside wall trying to... Oh, we're going to crash now there. Eric Reinhardt and Cody Trudeau-Cote are involved. It looks like Cruz Hernandez Jr. might get a tiny piece of it. I think he may have actually missed it, locked it down. Oh, excuse me, that's actually not... Different Bass Pro Shops car. That's Jeffrey Price. Apologies for that. Looks like he got a little bit right front damage. Alright there. We got 3 Bass Pro Shops cars in this race, and it's very confusing. So my apologies for getting that mixed up. But unfortunately, the 4 wide did not cause the accident, but a little bit after did. As we now get 20 laps to go here for Talladega. 6 caution flag comes out actually with 4 wide trying to miss the accident as well. So a lot of 4 wide action here tonight. But unfortunately, we get another crash. Actually, it looks like it was a result of 4 wide. In fact, it's the 76. Very aggressive move again, going through the middle, 4 wide. Didn't have much space there as he tried to go. The 710 tried to block him as he was clear. It wasn't entirely clear, but was technically clear. 76 went up the track to avoid making contact with the 710. Unfortunately, collected the 4 machine, and then the 4 turned down at the racetrack into the 710 of Eric Reinhardt. So they make pretty heavy contact with the outside wall. It looks like the 30 machine of Bobby Hash then gets a piece of it, and he's going to go spinning down into the grass, and Jeffrey Price locks it down. Great job to miss the accident right there. I don't think he actually hit the 710 at all. I thought he did a little bit, but Jeffrey Price, last week's winner actually, from Daytona, looks like he entirely missed it, as indeed the 45 machine now has actually put it behind the wall, so my apologies for just not letting you know that about that. But so Jeff Price actually hitting the outside wall by accident actually helped him, as you see the crash happen, and he's got some good brakes in that Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Wow, just missed it. Did a great job. Absolutely fantastic record-winning job right there by Jeffrey Price to slow down and miss that. Definitely great job by him. And keep control of the car in the first place and to slow it down to miss the accident. So we're going to take a look here at incident here once again from a different angle. Yeah, 76 trying to make it a 4 wide. The 710 trying to shut in that door, and then Jeffrey McConey tried, reacted out of the block and thought that he had his nose in there, so he went high to try to avoid this, hooking the 710, and unfortunately clipped to the left rear corner panel of Cody Trudeau-Cote, and that caused the incident there. But only looks like 3 cars involved, so definitely could have been a lot worse than what it really was. So definitely glad to see that, of course. But unfortunately, we do not want to see the crash as a whole. But now that puts Jason Papp in the race lead here. It's just caution flag from tonight's race. A lot of guys, a lot of aggression out there, it seems like. A lot of four-wide moves here, and some pretty entertaining to watch, but unfortunately it's not really, like I said earlier, been at the expense of the multiple cautions and crashes here. But we're going to get a word in here with your race leader, Jason Papp, as he is your current race leader here. Jason Papp, got a copy.
Yeah, Lucas.
So, Jason, you kind of find yourself in the race lead here as we get just under now 20 laps to go. Laps continue to wind down here from Talladega, and the intensity has already seemed to have been picking up here. We've seen now multiple, just in that little run there, we saw about four wide moves there and runs that came, and it was definitely very fun to watch. Unfortunately, we've had quite a few cautions here tonight, but it's been pretty entertaining when we have that kind of racing. So you're coming up here in the race lead. I've missed the majority of the accidents so far. Stuck with the race from your eyes, and what you think it's going to take here to check the victory.
I've been having a blast. I've just been trying to play it safe and not be very aggressive. I wanted to really get up here and lead a lap. I think the safest place is up front here. Some of the guys are going 3 or 4 wide, and it's a little too soon for that.
And of course, when you get such a huge run, you don't want to lift, and you want to get around as many guys as possible because the opportunity is there in front of you, and it's definitely very tempting. Do you feel like when you're in that kind of situation? You feel like it's time to make that move, or what does that kind of goes through your mind when you're in that kind of position?
Well, I mean, you got to if you got a huge run and the guy behind you is right on you, you got to make a pretty good decision there, or you're going to get run over and then ran right into the guy in front of you. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of just a judgment call of who's pushing you, how close they are.
Alrighty, well, at least wish you the best of luck here in the rest of the race, and appreciate your time.
Yeah, man, thank you.
That was the driver of the number 1 machine, the current race leader, Jason Papp, as he is currently up front here. And in front, in control of the race here. Also league owner, so typically is actually in control. So number 1 machine continues to set up in P number 1 here. And we continue to take off more and more laps. Like I mentioned, to look at the race summary here so far, 11 lead changes, 18 laps remaining. It'll be 17 this time by. Then if we do get the one to go signal this time by, it'll be 16 when we take the green flag. So definitely not a ton of time left. And each caution flag, mind you, it takes about 5 laps in total. Of course, the overlay doesn't count the caution lap as the final lap of the caution as a caution lap, since technically you're back green before you complete the lap. But obviously you can't race or go back green when that happens. So each caution is 5 laps. So 16 laps to go, we can only get 3 cautions and not have the race end under the yellow. We have a 1 lap shootout at the end. So hopefully, of course, we don't have to deal with that. And actually, it looks like we have another lap here, so it looks like it actually be 15 to go. So therefore, if we did get 3 cautions, of course, the race would enter the yellow. But obviously, we can hopefully go green the rest of the way here, and I think it's definitely very possible. As again, 2 fast bears go pretty quickly. Unfortunately, we're involved in a lot of accidents. You see the 413 apart Garks that he is destroyed. Still trying to fix some of his car right there. Kudichio Colt looks like he used a fast repair to fix his car after that. He said he wasn't involved in any accidents, and of course, my interview curse didn't help him, but so I guess he used his first set of 2 fast spares, so he still has 1 left. Ryan Broussard has been involved in, I believe, 2 accidents tonight here, so he already, as you can tell, uses fast spare as a clean race car, so he definitely does not want to see another one, as that will take him out if he gets involved in it. Jeffrey Price, of course, barely missing that accident. Great job to slow it down and not get involved in that. He is a clean race car besides the damage he got from the outside wall. So he's also in a good position here. Eric Reinhardt, entirely a clean race car after using a fast spare. Ryan Worley actually hasn't been involved in from what I've seen in any accidents so far tonight, if I remember correctly. So he's doing a great job right there in that 26 machine, keeping his nose clean. He was even at the front of the pack earlier too, so it's not like he wasn't just hanging back the whole time. Timothy Papp, unfortunately, has quite a bit of nose damage, which is definitely affecting the handling of his race car and the speed of it. But nothing too severe to, of course, hinder him too badly. The 66 machine that does have some corner panel damage right there, as you can tell, and rear end damage to the back bumper and deck lid and everything. But that's not affect his speed or handling that much either, because of the fact it's on the back end. So good news for him at least. And everybody else looks like clean race cars all the way through. So the green flag going to come out, or line up back to Buffalo here for the restart. So it will be go back green with just 15 laps to go. So the iRacing.com official Ford Mustang pace car pulls back down onto the pit lane here. As Jason Papp moves the field back to the green flag. With Taz Kessler up there on the outside lane. The green flag waves, and we're away here once again from Talladega, just 15 laps to go, like I said. So, not a ton of time left to race. If you're the back of the pack, definitely going to try to work our way up here to the front to try to get in contention for this, as this is about the right time to do so. With 15 laps to go, you have enough time to do it. So make sure you can, make sure you can put yourself in that position when it all counts at the end of the race. Oh, we got a caution flag, though, and that will hinder that, as it looks like the 777 machine of Timothy Papp going around. And it looks like some other guys with some damage, Eric Reinhardt and Cody Schutel-Colt with some nose damage. And unfortunately, that will bring the caution flag here once again, and only leave us about 10 laps left of racing. So I want to take a look here and see what exactly started off that. As looks like, oh wow, pretty big contact right there. It looks like 777 machine with that damage, like I mentioned earlier, it did affect the speed quite a bit. 777, excuse me, Eric Reinhardt tries to go to the outside. I try to pass him. Timothy Papp tries to, looks like, block that move, and unfortunately, he, wasn't clear, gets turned and into traffic. The 4 machine of Kurt did a great job to try to miss it, got a little piece of it. Luckily, he only kind of sideswiped him, so it didn't really cause him too much damage. 777 has quite a bit of damage now. Looks like he got it back going in the right direction. Didn't hit anything besides that, the wall and 7 to 10, of course. So, looks like a good call by them as he... Actually, it looks like Eric Reinhardt... Yeah, Eric Reinhardt did come down the track just a little bit. So definitely, both those guys a little bit at fault there. Just kind of a racing incident, 777 tried to go up to block the move. Of course, he doesn't want to get ditched and lose the draft. And then Eric Reinhardt just actually misjudged it. Actually came down the right track just a little bit. So go for the same kind of real estate doesn't usually work, especially when one's on somebody else's corner panel. So, unfortunately, they both made contact, and then Richard Koch gets a little tiny piece of it, but luckily for him, again, nothing too severe, as only really a 3-car accident once again here. So, good to see, of course, again, not the whole field taken out, but unfortunately, don't want to see caution flag collapse, but that's just the result of fleet racing, and the result of how people decide to go. So, and actually that cost a pretty big pay right there to cost quite a bit there to Jason Papp, as he went from first to third on that run and couldn't make it back as the caution flag came out. So that now kind of sets it back here just a bit, but still up there. He'll start right behind the race leader, so no worries there, as Tyus Kessler now moves himself up the race lead here. Will Reimer has been back at the front a lot tonight. He's back up here in the second. So we're going to take you on another quick commercial break, but we'll be right back. So you won't miss any racing coverage.
Coming for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
Want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. So start ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero.
Hey, what's up, guys? Scott Speed here at the iRacing headquarters. Some exciting news about the upcoming Rallycross World Championship. They've got a wild card entry, and yours truly is going to get that spot. See you guys out on the track.
I'm live here to Talladega Super Speedway. As currently about to go back green flag here. Pace car back down onto the safety of pit lane, and Taz Kessler and Will Horner lead the field back to the green flag here. And just about 10 laps to go as Jason Papp and Jesse Fox make up your second row here. So they come through the tri-oval. Green flag is now waving, and we're backing away. Oh, actually, it's the white flag time limit. Actually, is going to end the race. It's actually a one-lap shootout here. So now Taz Kessler is in the race. See, this changes everything. I did not realize that it was that close on time. So it's actually now down to a time limit here, as now Taz Kessler in the race lead here. Not sure for what will be the final time. And now the aggression absolutely through the roof. We'll run over now, fighting on the outside. Jason Papp going to try to push Taz Kessler here to the race lead, and we got crashing behind them, but there will be no caution flag as they work through turns number 3 and 4 here. 76 aggressively pushing the 37 machine. Jeffrey McConaughey, oh, he turns him down the racetrack, and that will cause a big accident now as they're going to try to catch the one machine. Taz Kessler is by himself here in a pretty bad situation. He's going to try to block for his life here. Jeffrey McConaughey trying to find a way around. He does a great job of blocking. He's going to block the 76 machine. Taz Kessler will win here at Talladega, and they finish 3 wide right behind them. As George Garcia picks up second place, Jeffrey McConaughey in in third. Jesse Fox right there in fourth, and what a crazy finish there. Unfortunately, we had a couple of crashes there, but good block, amazing job there by the one machine to throw that block. Taz Kessler picks the victory here tonight from Talladega. I'd have kind of surprised, at least to me. I did not expect that to be the final restart. I thought we still had 10 laps to go, but time limit ended up coming in and affected the finish and cut the race just a little bit short, as that was absolutely oh, what was she going to celebrate here in the grass, and an extremely nice. It wasn't dirty by any means. An extremely good block there. That basically it was the winning move by far there for Taz Kessler. That's for sure gave him that win. So he's going to sit in the grass here. We are going to take a look back and see what exactly happened there. To cause what happened there. Will Runner in a pretty good position to try to get the victory, but unfortunately, just a classic bumper hook here at Talladega. Off the nose of the 76 machine, just actually got it left for corner panel, turned to the 37 machine, down the racetrack into the 1, and again, unfortunately, it took out a lot of drivers here to finish the race. 44 got a piece of it, the 42 barely missed it, but that kind of really hindered that whole, aspect, a whole front of the pack here. Then the 1 machine had a huge gap because of that. And of course, Jeffrey McConey trying to find a way around the 1 machine. He blocks low, and then goes up high, anticipates the 76 already making a move to the high side before he even does it. Makes an amazing block on the 76 machine. That was what gave him the victory there, was that block right there on the 76 machine. And that gave him the victory here. So we're going to take a look now on board from the rear view here on the 1 machine. He also barely missed the accident. I think it actually may have been a bit of net kill that was able to spare him. Maybe not, actually. He barely almost got clipped. It was about an inch away. And actually, 37 she managed to straighten it out, and nobody else actually went around right there. It was just, of course, didn't have a chance at the victory after that. But this move by the 1 machine, that block right there, was what gave him the victory. And the 76 had a huge momentum, and unfortunately was not able to get. Fortunately for him, was not able to get around the 01 machine, and that was what was able to give him the victory here. As we take a look here from the chopper camera at this crash once again here and finish. You see 37 because turned down the racetrack, and it looks like a bit of net code played in the fact there. Otherwise, I think the 01 would have gone right reared, but great job of everybody else to keep the car straight and going in the right direction. The 50 machine, George Garcia had a huge run right here. Took us 3 wide, makes a bit of contact, and then tries to get himself up here for the race lead. Unfortunately, can't do it, but he will get across finish line in 2nd place at the least. Still, a good run there by the 50 machine for his first career start by far there. As we are now going to get awarded with your top few finishes here as always in just a few moments. As we're in here with your 3rd place finisher here, that is Jeffrey McConey in the 76 machine. Try and award in here with him. If he is indeed, actually, he's already ready. So, put the broadcast booth down. Got a copy there, Jeff?
Yes, I do. Hang on, I've got your broadcast going on in the background. All right. Yeah.
Don't want to hear two of me?
Yeah, it's boy, what a race, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The time came up short on you guys there, as it was gonna be about 10 laps to go for that restart, but because of the time limit, it ended up changing it immediately down to just a 1-lap shootout for everybody to have all added pretty much at the win there and the race, and it was definitely very, very interesting as that all played out. You had a heck of a run there on the 01 machine after, of course, that bumper hook by accident, of course, on the 37 machine there. But definitely was a great block there with the 01 machine. That was really what secured the victory. But had he not done that, you would have won the race here tonight. So with the crazy finish there, of course, by finishing, under the time limit instead of the actual race length. And talk about the race as a whole, it was very chaotic.
Oh man, yeah, chaotic is the word. I actually was running for the first time in a while without my brother as my teammate, but I had another one, Zach, in the number 10 car, and he actually didn't jump into the race until about halfway through. He had a sub driver in for him, so I raced about half of it with no teammates out there, and that was pretty scary. And then we worked together, made a push to the front. Then it just went crazy where it was like 4 wide, and the 710 bumped me up into the 4, and that was a shame. I want to apologize to the 4 car for that. I got a bump from the 710, and um, we were having a discussion in race chat about that, me and the 710, and well, could have lifted and that and everything else, but it is what it is. That's plate racing. I guess I've built a bit of a reputation as the Dale Earnhardt of the group, where I'm gonna send it in there, and 9.999%, 9.999 times out of 10, it works pretty well for me. So it's just one of those races, and yeah, at the end there, the 37, I don't know if I got into the back of him or if Netcode got involved in that or what, but it's last lap at Dega, and we see that white flag come up in the left-hand corner, and we're going, oh, geez. And nobody was expecting it. But yeah, that finish there with the 0-1, I came on right away, and I told him, but dude, I'm not even mad about that. That block was incredible. He couldn't have timed that any better, so I couldn't be any happier for Taz on that one. That was an incredible win. He's one of our sponsors as well, so shout out to him. Great win there. To the 37 and the 4, we had our incidents during the race, but I apologize, and we'll move on. And I own one. I'll cut him a break next week, and we'll move on from there.
It definitely, the aggression, like I said, like you said, picks up very much when you have the white flag, especially when it's by surprise like that. I know at least you probably thought you were restarting with 10 laps to go, and you're gonna try to get yourself in the race lead and put yourself in position. All of a sudden, you go green and the white flag's waving at the same time, and you have to have that one lap. You started back in, I believe, 7th place too, or 5th place at least for that restart. So definitely we're pretty far back there. Worked our way up, and unfortunately, of course, turn 37 machine. But that wasn't, it's probably not actually expected at this point, because Talladega one lap shootouts always are hectic and crazy, and obviously not what you intended to do. But it became very close to getting the victory here tonight. But O1 machine obviously that amazing blocking. Either way, you still managed to lead 9 laps and get a home a solid 3rd place finish after starting way back in 17th. So a good night for you, and especially good for the points as a whole here. Any shout outs you want to give out here, and any sponsors that keep Mix Up Machine turn on the track?
Right, absolutely, and like you said, it was absolute mayhem, and no intentional wrecking by anyone in this league. We all do our best to keep it clean, but yeah, fantastic race all around. Thanks to DCH Crane, all of our sponsors, really. Taz Auto Customs, I got to give a shout out to Bottled Up, the podcast available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, anywhere you listen. That's my show. So if you're a fan of interviews with Stephen Nassie after his incident at the Snowball Derby, I had him on. I've had Ray Evernham, Derek Cope, anyone that you can think of. I've probably had them on at this point, so feel free to listen there. But absolutely, shout out to all that. Shout out to the teammates. To Anthony Alfredo, he's going to be joining McConey Motorsports coming January, the NASCAR Next driver, Truck Series driver. He's going to be joining us. And yeah, so we'll have a 4-car McConey Motorsports team come January. So get ready for that, everybody.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish here, Jeffrey, and have a good night.
Thank you. You as well. Great job with the broadcast. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Alright, now for your 2nd place finisher here tonight, that is the number 50 machine of George Garcia. Unfortunately, actually, it's not like he is in the teams, because again, I just mentioned he's a new driver, so maybe he has not gotten that entered in yet, unfortunately, tonight. But we do have your race winner here, Taz Kessler, in the one machine with the amazing move there on that block in the last lap. We're in front of the Barker's booth now. Taz Kessler, you got a copy.
Hey, Lucas, how you doing?
doing pretty good, and I'm sure you're very excited here after pulling off that victory there with an amazing block. That was really the winning move there through the trial there to pick yourself up here, the very first victory of the season here, and I believe just your third or fourth start. So definitely, pretty new driver in this league, and already paving a pretty good path here for the future, and definitely in a pretty hectic race to do it in. Obviously, ending in the time limit, I believe probably most of you by surprise there, as it was going to be about a 10-lap shootout to the end, and all of a sudden it became a 1-lap shootout, and didn't really give you much time to plan out what exactly you were going to do to try to pick the victory, but you were able to do it nevertheless. With a crazy last lap dash there, of course, and crazy race as a whole. Stuck with the race from your eyes and how you're able to pull the victory off here tonight.
Well, for one, let's start out with thanking the sponsors, iRacing E-Series, of course, LCTV, Taz Racing Customs, and CorvetteParts.net. Oh, man, it was a hectic race. The last couple weeks we got wrecked out leading the field a couple times, and tonight leading the field and getting wrecked out again early. And, man, just to come back and get that win is very awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was definitely, like I said, an amazing block. A lot of the guys in the chat were even impressed by it. The 76 had a huge momentum there after that crash happened right behind you, which you were just able to squeak out of right there and able to miss it and dodge it. But the 76 had a huge run on you right there. It looked like you had a block for all it was worth right there, and you were able to get the job done, and maybe even anticipated the move that 76 was going to make before he even made it. Really fantastic job, really impressed by that move there, of course. And what was going through your mind there, of course, after that crash? Obviously, you were probably just happy you didn't get turned, but what was going through your mind there, with that 76 in your mirror getting a huge run there? What was your plan? What was kind of what we were thinking?
Well, for one, we didn't know we were on the time clock. We figured we still had a few laps left, and we're just trying to hold it out there and pray that we got it. And man, that wreck happened. We watched the replay. It came inches from taking us out.
And absolutely, I think it was a bit of net killer, but definitely very close either way. How close that was, I thought for sure when that happened you would get right reared in the outside wall, but luckily for you, of course, you were able to just squeak out of it barely, and that was definitely a good job of you to keep your foot on the mash of the gas there and drive out of that. But you already mentioned a couple of sponsors and shout-outs you gave out, but is anybody else to give a quick thank you to?
Just everybody in the league, and it's great being here and racing with these guys. Hopefully we could join a team soon and get a team going.
Absolutely, and again, Taz, congratulations on your win here tonight, first win in the iRacing series, and see you next week.
Hey, thanks, Lucas, for having us.
Absolutely. So that was your race winner tonight, Taz Kessler in the 01 machine, picking his first victory here tonight, and locks himself into the chase, which, by the way, I actually wanted to bring up here as we continue on rocking away through the season. There is actually a chase, and a win locks you into the chase. So currently, unfortunately, I was not able to get the points in. I took a picture of them and everything, but unfortunately, my apologies, I was not able to actually get a picture in to put for you guys. But a win does lock you into the chase. There's 16 drivers in the chase, and the chase starts on race 16. So we actually are now with just it's race 13, so we have 2 races left before we start the 5-race chase, so we're definitely looking forward to having that. It's going to be very exciting, of course, with the chase for the championship, as the one machine now fills in his seat and knocks out another guy trying to point his way in. So definitely going to be very interesting for the next 2 weeks as we look at the guys with, without a win, trying to work their way into said chase, try to get their way into the championship. So besides that, though, congratulations to Taz Kessler on his race win. We appreciate you all watching here tonight and continue to support. Again, Tuesday, we have no VSR as it is Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope you have a great day. with your friends and family there. And, of course, next Friday, come back and watch the iRacing series. It is not an off week. We're racing next Friday from Daytona, so make sure you check that out. Then, of course, VSR returns the following week, to the best of my knowledge, at least. And then, iRacing series every Friday night until race number 20. So appreciate y'all watching here tonight again, and this is LCTV. Have a good night. Never mind. Before I do that, look at the results here tonight. My apologies for forgetting about that. Let's discuss our predicted victory here tonight. George Garcia finishes it off in second. Jeffrey McConey in third. Jesse Fox out there towards the front there late, and he's going to get a solid fourth place finish. Cruiser Jr. rounds out your top 5. Jason Patt finishes in 6th. Jeff Spooner in 7th. Nathan Hall 8th. And Taylor Kahn 9th. Ryan C. Worley rounds out your top 10. Finished 11th here tonight with row number 12th place is Jeffrey Price. 13th, Scott Leitner. Brian Bruzart in 14th. Brendan Wilson in 15th. Russ Nash 16th. Timothy Papp 17th. Eric Reinhardt 18th. Zach Boraman, my apologies for that. One of your new drivers, by the way, so glad I have him in this series. Cody Trudeau in 20th. Then finish one lap down, then across it in the number 27 machine. 11 laps down in the number 30 is Bobby Hatch. Park Arksta, 23rd, and Roy Geeson was unfortunately involved in one accidents here tonight. He's going to round out your field of starters for tonight's race. Again, mentioned this already, but appreciate y'all watching here tonight. And now, for real here, this is LCTV. Have a good night.